Okay, so uh what is it? Like a week or two back, I made a video on hyperfarming. I posted it on this YouTube channel, mainly for my order members, so they could learn how to use it and produce a massive amount of RSS in a very short period of time. Now, that video was like 2 minutes long. It didn't go into very much depth. It was just to get them started so we could get some RSS production and boost the order's power. Well, what I want to do now is I want to go back from what I just did and go into more detail on how you hyperfarm, how you get what you need. And I started on the screen to show you what it can lead towards. I'm producing almost 4 million stone every hour and over 2 million silver every hour at the moment. Now, I do have completely maxed buildings all over, that all houses, all quarries completely done. And so that's a majority of that would be into that. So, but before this, I think there were 18 and I was still getting 2 million. Minus the one that was 21 because I boosted there. So you can still get a large amount of RSS without being this, but that's not what I wanted. So there are like four main factors that contribute to your RSS production. One is what type of RSS you want to farm. You want to have all those buildings at minus the 3 you need to upgrade your palace. So like I did stone, so I have the quarries. And you want to focus on upgrading those. Now I'm also hyper producing silver, but that's because my hero is level 50 and I had the slots. But at lower levels, I would recommend you focus on one like wood, iron, stone, or food, because they're going to be more of a necessity at the lower levels up until you get towards palace level 21, where you start doing tier 4 studies that just cost millions of the silver. That's bullshit. But so that's the main factor. And then you'll go into your hero and your hero skills. Also, this is where it starts getting ridiculous. This is what brings it from you producing like 500k from the buildings, and then it multiplies on that through the skills. So it'll take whatever I'm producing baseline, and it'll add plus 350%, and then you'll go to 2. It's right here. That's another 65, and then 1. That's another 40, and that's the same thing for silver. And then on top of that, in the order store, if you go there, your order, if your order isn't doing this at the time, ask them to add the weekly production for whatever RSS you are hyper producing. So like I'm doing stone, so it would be the 50%. They're relatively cheap, and they just help. They basically, if once you get that one, and we're out of the regular ones, it boosts it by another 100%. Beyond that, right now the assailant for stone is out, but I know assailants are expensive for some. But if you're doing silver, you can do it with baseline equipment. So if we'll go to helmets, and let's go to armor and standard equipment. If you want to do silver, you would look for the one that's a silver collection, and then that's another 115% on top of that. I'll show you what I have set up for silver right here. So I have I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I'll fuck it up. Adds it plus about 100% silver production. And then my helmet adds plus 87%. And then you'll go to my armor, and you saw that. That was a plus 115%. And like every piece of my equipment is based to make sure my silver protection goes up by a massive amount. You can do this for stone also, but you have to hunt enough assailants that basically you'll get the materials you need, and it's ridiculously hard, and Hi. Stop. No. Oh my god. It's late. Okay, yeah, it's ridiculously hard to get it, but it is possible. So if you go to my equipment here, and we'll do the weapon for the assailant. I was hunting the new assailant. Oh, yeah, this one, the guy who drops stuff for stone, the wax, the torn leather. I believe it's the renegade. So I was hunting him, and I got up to rare equipment and other stuff. But at epic or legendary, you'll get plus 90% for stone and stuff like that for his equipment. You just, for the baseline equipment, you'll have to go through one of the assailants. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to log into our bank account and show you what I've produced in the span of like a day and a half for stone. Of course, I didn't do all of this, but a lot of the stone, at least, was me. The silver, that was from KVK farming, because KVK is ridiculous and it's beautiful. Logging on. This is our orders bank account here. It's shielded forever. I believe in you. Come on. There we go. Okay, so that 54 million stone there, the majority of that was added by me within the span of the last day and a half. So that's what you can do when you get hyper farming properly set up and everything. And honestly, if your order is not doing it at the moment, I'd recommend setting everyone up. I would recommend starting them at around Palace level 12. Because before that, it's just not producing enough to be worth it. But around Palace level 12, you're starting to get the hero level needed and the building level needed for it to start working. Beyond that, that should cover just about anything. And yep.